Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Built Different. I'm going to go over abs today. We're going to do abs. You guys have been asking me about abs. I want to talk to you a little bit about abs, and then I'm going to show you one exercise, my go-to exercise for abs. You can do it in your home. You can do it when you're on the road. You can do it anywhere. But let's talk abs first, okay? And from my perspective, the fact that I have abs, I feel very lucky, but it wasn't something in which I was able to get with the flip of a switch. I took years to develop my abs, and it took time to get my abs. And even though I have abs, as you guys can see, I still have a little bit of skin here I call this my excess years when I wasn't taking complete care of myself. And unfortunately, what ends up happening is that the skin tends to overlap. And as we get older too, this idea of, tightness disappears. So we do the best that we can do. But let me go back to abs and talk to you a little bit about abs. Abs are made in the kitchen. And you guys may have heard that a million times before, but they truly are. My abs and the ability that I have to show my abs are predicated on the fact that I am so diligent on what I eat, what I take in, and I make sure that I'm eating quality products, and I make sure that I'm leaning into my discipline. So it really doesn't matter if you do thousands of crunches, if you're doing, all these different exercises, if you're going to commercial gyms and doing all these different types of exercises, if you're not eating properly and you're not taking in less than what your body needs, just a small percentage, and you're not creating that metabolism that's running an efficient engine, you're not going to get abs. There's going to be they'll be underneath you, but there's going to be layers of fat and skin that are going to cover it. And so visually, you're not going to be able to see your abs. And, at the end of the day, while abs are really important and we all want to have abs, it's not something that you should be focused on. I wasn't focused on my abs in order to get in shape. I was focused on my health and my longevity. And part of my health and longevity journey included losing substantial weight all over my body. It wasn't spot reduction to my abs. Part of it, yes, is genetics, but you have to recognize that you're not going to be able to lose, if you have a belly, you're not going to be able to lose that just by focusing on doing one particular exercise. So think about that when you guys are, approaching and working with regard to abs. Recognize that while it's an exercise that's important to do for core strength and for overall health, don't view it that I'm going to work my abs so hard, make sure my abs they're tight and I'm working them so well that they're going to just grow and come in. In fact, sometimes what can happen, and I don't even know if you guys can see it on the camera, sometimes they can pop out if you eat too much, or you see some of those guys, they stick their stomach out, they got this big, like a tortoise shell belly with regard to their abs. It could be growth, there could be so many factors associated with it. It could be insulin resistance. Believe it or not, just because you can see your abs doesn't mean you're in good health. So, you just have to think about these things from an approach perspective when you're doing abs. All right, enough with the talking. Let's get to the exercise. This exercise on a flat bench, super simple. And the mindset and the connection that we're talking about with regard to mind-muscle connection is the same for abs as it is with any other body part, right? So you have to think of it along the lines of you've got upper abs and you've got the lower abs down here. And so for me, I kind of put myself, if you can see, in a position in which I'm pretty much on my butt, on my glutes, and I use my hands to stabilize myself. And what I'll do is I'll do kind of like leg raises. Now, you can do these leg raises with your knees in, or you can do them with your knees out. With your knees out, what you're going to feel is a little bit more pressure down here. If you put your knees in a little bit, you're going to feel that crunch a little bit up here. Now, the key to doing this exercise is to make sure you're feeling the area you're working. I see too many people just swinging. And if they even do this exercise, they're not necessarily thinking about that connection. And many times they're working their hips and they're working their thighs and they're not feeling it here. You want to maintain that contraction in your abs area when you're doing this exercise. With regard to this exercise, guys, you got to do at least 4 to 5 sets of this exercise. I'd go between 25 to 50 per set on these exercises so you really feel it. It's the same exercise in which you're going to basically get to the end of the bench. You're going to go like this, and you're going to feel it. For the most part, when you're stretched out like this, you're going to feel it all in here. And you want to get 20, 25 to 50 of these. And again, I'm looking at the mirror and I'm focusing really hard on my mind-muscle connection for my abs. And I'm not super going up and down like this. I'm really focusing on this. And as I talk to you guys, I'm getting tired already. And what'll happen sometimes, you get so tired, it'll hit you on your hips as you're doing this, and it'll kind of move your thought and your focus from your abs to your hips. And that's not really where I want to be. I want to really think about my abs and focus on my abs when I'm doing it. And so as I get through the exercise in the rep count, what'll happen is that I'll have a tendency to kind of bend my knees a little bit as I'm moving up. And that's okay that you do that. Ideally, to start with your legs stretched out a little bit is what I would suggest. But if you bend your knees a little bit, so be it. Continue in that contraction. So when you're going back like this and you're out and you're going up, lifting with your ankles, if you're getting a little tired and you want to bring it in a little, that's fine. You're still working this area, but just remember you're fighting that issue of feeling it down here with this, because this is the area you want to work. Again, 4 to 5 sets, 25 to 50 reps, and you're going to feel an unbelievable burn in here. And take it slow. Maybe you got to do it, maybe you got to do 3 sets of it. Maybe you can't do more than 10 or 15 when you start out. That's okay. The key to this exercise is essentially feeling, when you're going and doing this, doing these leg lift type things, is actually feeling the contraction in your abs, in your stomach muscles. If you're not feeling it after a certain period of time, you may not be doing it correctly. And you may need to adjust yourself. If you need to go down a little bit more on the bench to get that angle, if you need to bend your knees a little bit, you may want to start this way with your knees bent before you go out like this. But the bottom line to it is you want to hit this area. And don't be so focused on, am I going to get my uppers? Am I going to get my lowers? The bottom line for this exercise is to work this area in general and connect with the mind as you're working this area. If you do that, I believe that you're going to feel it in this area down here, and you'll get better success with this exercise. You're not going to get abs overnight, guys. I hate to tell you that, but it is what it is. If you're not watching what you eat and have a low percentage of body fat, it doesn't matter how many abs you do. You could do this every day. You're not going to develop those abs. The abs are going to have to be something, if that's what you truly want, that you work on in tandem with your diet, heavy with your diet. I've got stuff in the premium channel as it relates to diet and things like that. We just rolled out some different things, modules in place too. We're going to be doing a bunch of webinars as it relates to, diet, mindset, and all this other stuff. But I really implore you guys not to be so focused on abs and on your stomach and on that whole thing. Again, think about it holistically. Think about all the different things that you're trying to accomplish with your longevity, watching your nutrition, leaning into discipline, the other body parts. And I will tell you, doing supersets, doing giant sets, not taking too much time in between the exercises, that's going to help you with the cardio as well. That's going to put you in a place in which you're moving and you're burning fat more. And that's going to help you as well kind of get rid of what you're fighting to get rid of in your stomach area. And especially as we get older. That's the other part. As we get older, we can't metabolize like we used to. So if you're eating the same things you're eating when you were 20, 25, you know that it's going to all of a sudden, you can't break it down like you used to. So you're going to have to make some changes. So these are the things that we go over in our community. These are the things we talk about on the channel. These are things you guys got to be mindful of as you're moving forward with your longevity goals. While abs are great to have and something you can be prideful of, I think overall, holistic success is more important, and your abs will come as you continue to lean into the longevity and lean into the fitness. Again, it's just one area of the body that you can work on, but for whatever reason, everybody really wants that particular body part to shine. And while it is prideful, once you get them, you do feel good and you're in a position where you're like, oh wow, I got some abs. At the end of the day, it's not what I'm solely focused on. It's not what you're going to be solely focused on. It's our overall health and longevity. Guys, I hope this helped you out a little bit. Remember, we're built different. Like and subscribe. Send me those DMs. I'm here for you. And remember, we're built different.